I selected Seesaw because it allows me to create interactive lessons that my students can do during independent time. This could be used during any content area, but I will use it for reading. Although my students have very little independent time while they are in my classroom, I thought I could use this as a small group activity for them to complete in the general education classroom. The objective of using Seesaw would be to help generalize and carry over the activities we work on in the special education classroom into the general education classroom. My intended audience would be my students and the general education teachers. I would need to collaborate closely with my gen ed counterparts in order to successfully integrate my instruction into their content and differentiate it to meet the student's needs. The student would then be able to complete specially designed instruction while remaining in the general education classroom. The first ISTE standard for educational leaders I chose was 2B, that states we will build on the shared vision by collaboratively creating a strategic plan that articulates how technology will be used to enhance learning. I chose this standard because it discusses working collaboratively to enhance learning. Working with the general education teacher would be vital in creating an assignment like this. The second ISTE standard for education leaders I chose was 3C, which states to inspire a culture of innovation and collaboration that allows the time and space to explore and experiment with digital tools. I chose this standard because one of my main goals is to come up with new innovative ideas to combine general education and special education. So I'll just kind of show a little mock lesson that I created that was very quick and short and to the point. So the first step when using Seesaw is to create an account. So I've already created that account, and then to create a class, I just made a test class. So you would do create class, and then you can import from Google Classroom, or you can name your class, which I just did test, and then I chose 3rd grade. Then we would have this page, and we can then we're in journal right now, but I did activities. So then we can add and assign an activity. And we can explore their tools. Or they have the library, so you could look at old lessons that you've created, or you can go on the community. And they would have other lessons that other people have created that you could then use for lessons as well. So for my library and my activity that I just made really quick was, we do a lot of phoneme graphing, word mapping in my classroom. And so I just did a little quick assignment where I could say the word, and I liked this a lot because I could say the instructions instead of having them to read the instructions, since a lot of my students struggle with reading. So they could listen to the instruction, and then I could have them click listen here, and it plays the word cat. And then I could have them write the word to create the activity. So one of the only downsides I found so far with this was that with this shortened or this free version, I could only do one slide at a time. So I think if this was something I was going to use regularly, I would want to get a higher end version. But overall, I think it would be a really good resource to use to kind of carry over those skills.